This video is brought to you by Ravenscraft Realty of Northeast Missouri.
Here's a view of the corn heading west. Problem with the X9, massive amount of dust comes out of the front. I can't see anything. It didn't have guidance, it should be off the road all the time. I've had to run it by hand for a while. Didn't have any planning coverage for some reason. It's been rough. Not so bad going east. That's my main complaint about this thing. It's got a massive amount of capacity. Does a great job, but this is a problem. You gotta run your wiper. Try to get the dust off. I actually washed my windows this morning. I've already dusted them off 3 times, and yeah, it's great. Quite a bit better heading east here today. We are over in Illinois by the interstate over there. Well, it's been explained to me that this machine has, of course, twin rotors and a much larger cleaning fan. We don't have enough vents out the back end to let the air out the back, so it all comes out the front. Makes a big pile of corn stalks. I've had to knock them off a couple times today too, the leaves. Of course, it's really, really dry, which is not helping matters one bit. Very dry and dusty. Beans were worse. But anyway, we're having a pretty good day. We're already over, well over 100 acres for the day. Probably 120 or 30 already, and it's just now 6 o'clock. Probably gonna get about 40,000 bushel today, so that's gonna be pretty good. Never would have got that with the 790. This machine goes a solid probably a mile an hour faster and does a better job than the 790. It's 5:45 on Sunday the 27th. Got on pretty good today. We've done about 125 acres, 32,000 bushel or so. So yeah, the X9 makes a big difference. Only have to turn the lights on. Gonna be home in time for supper. Got about 260 acres left over here in Illinois. So should be two fairly, it'd be pretty good days, about 130 acres a day. Shouldn't be a problem. We can get back to Missouri and get the corn wrapped up.
So it's Wednesday, and I've never done a video like this before, but I thought we'd do a little day in the life kind of action. This is my view every morning. These are the sights and the sounds. This is hot, because he says hot right there on his fur. It's Joker. Hello. Both of them are very, very needy kitty cats. Now, I feed them every morning, and sometimes I feed them at night too, but they act like they've never had food before, but I assure you they eat plenty well. There are no kitty cats allowed inside, and sometimes keeping them out of the house is a challenge. It's quite pretty down here in the mornings. Well, really any time of the day. I'm growing pretty fond of living in the bottom. The house I live in, it's okay. For what I pay for it per month, I'd struggle to find a better deal. So Dad and Jaden and the truckers went to the bottom to shell corn, and they don't need me, so I got the brush hog out. I shot it up with some grease, got the windows on the tractor cleaned up. I'm gonna go do some brush hogging kind of close to home, and then I'm gonna do some brush hogging close to home. That's probably gonna kill the day. At least I have the very lovely, very awesome 8230 to mow with. I had a wheel bearing go out on that side, and so now I'm rocking without one of those wheels, and I switched directions. Now I'm going around things clockwise instead of counterclockwise, so that I have more wheels on the side that's going to be flopped down over the edge of the field and in the brush and whatnot. But I'm mowing at Grandpa's here, which is where we used to live until Mom and Dad built their new house. And I spent a lot of time as a young fella with my dogs and a gun or something, just farting around here in the draw. There's actually an old railroad bed down there, and Used to find all sorts of cool stuff in the railroad bed. And we have the pond that's very nearly dry. It was never very deep to begin with, but it is what it is. And I kind of don't want to mow this spot here, but I think I'll just go ahead and do it just so I don't hear about it from someone else. I don't mean to demean myself, but I really didn't do anything that interesting today. I'm down in the bottom now. I took over hauling for our guy Jeff. I guess he had something else to do today, which is fine. Always want to treat our guys the best that we can. So now I'm driving the automated Kenworth. Feels weird not having to shift to 10 speed all the time like I was doing across the river in Illinois. But I'm driving the truck from now on. I don't know, probably around another 3 hours or so. And Mom said pizza for supper tonight, so cannot be missing that. Down by the bay. The other residents of the Midwest and Northeast Missouri specifically know that today, which is Wednesday, it's rather windy. As the Winnie the Pooh book described it, as a blustery day in the 100-acre wood, or in this case, the 140-acre field south of Jared's house. But I feel the truck moving a little bit, and it's just a little unsettling. I can see the trailer just kind of dancing just a little bit. Get out of here, ladybug. Get. But it's just a wonderful, wonderful day. Supposedly we're going to get some rain tonight, but I'll believe it when I see it. This is the third load that I will have taken back to the bin since I got here. I'd say that's pretty good. Jaden's been up there smiling away, looking at his phone, talking on the phone. I didn't bring my Bluetooth headset, so I cannot partake in whatever buffoonery is going on. Dad said that they're getting about a load every round. So that's solidly over 200 bushels per acre corn right there. I think Dad said the field's just up the road. It's 45 acres. It's a little bit tougher dirt, but it does have an irrigator on it. He said it made 214, so for being replant in the bottom, that's pretty good. I just really like living down here. I kind of fell in love with it, I guess. I was a little on the fence at first. However, the sights and the sounds won me over. Oh, the lights, they just look so awesome. Need more of them. And I need these bright lights on number one, which I usually drive, since I'm the young man and none of the old fellows want to drive it. I think this is the last load for the night. I'll have to ask Dad when we get home how many acres we did today. I'm sure it was a few, a couple even. I love it when a day just goes right. When you just don't have any problems at all. Unfortunately for you, the viewer, a boring day means not very many video opportunities.
It is Wednesday. We're back over in Missouri. We finished up in Illinois yesterday. It is, return rate off. 7:56. We've done 160 acres today. Started at about 9:30. I don't know, 35,000 bushels. So we're averaging over 200 on our replant corn down the bottom. It is irrigated, which helped it out obviously, but the heat that we got was not good for it, especially there later in the season when it was really trying to fill. Even though we put a lot of water to it, still that heat is detrimental to the crop. But regardless, 160 acres, that's pretty good for one machine in one day. We've gotten along everything's went really smooth today. We need a few more days like this, we'll really pare her down pretty quick.
Well, overnight we have 9/10, my house on the bottom, There's reports of more elsewhere, and it could be inaccurate as it is just a rain gauge. But that'll be enough to slow us down for at least today, if not most of tomorrow as well. The only reason I say it'll slow us down that long is because it's so ungodly dry. I mean, we had, I think, 3/10 2 weeks ago, and that's been it since like September, and even that was like a 3/10 rain event. So we've been rather dry. And yes, there are lots of geese down here in the bottom, unfortunately. I think that they're a pest, not a migratory bird, and should be treated as such, but that's just my opinion. I drove the old Honda car down here last night because well, my first gen leaks water through the roof, so I didn't feel like sitting in the water today. Today is a great day to do the 4 times a year truck bed clean out. This time of the year, it's sickle sections and other things that we find in the field that do not need to go into combines, like old belts, pieces of wood, chunks of metal, things of that sort. The sun came out and it's firmed up just a little bit here in the bottom, so Dad and I brought the truck and fuel trailer down, and we'll get everything fueled and deffed up and get ready for the day tomorrow. I came down here into the bottom this morning, didn't even go to the shop, hoping to get some brush spraying done because I have about 50 gallons of spray mixed up, and unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen, at least not right now. There you can kind of see the bluff and the bins in my house over there, but this fog is pretty darn heavy. The bay holds the heat, and well, it was cool outside. There's some frost in some places, and other places it's just dew. I drove my car home last night, and I need a pickup to move this thing back to the shop anyway, so I'm going to take a little bit of time this morning to go do other shuffling around things that I'm going to have to do anyways, that I may as well do now while it's still quite damp outside. Can't have anything nice. It's quite pretty along the bluff here in the fall. It's not very often that you can see the dew burning off of the ground, but today is definitely one of those days. I was finally able to get on the brush spraying, and Grandpa is also working down here in the bottom. Before I take this rig back to the shop, I'm trying to clean out the brush spray from the pump and the tank. I guess I'll let it run until the water is clear-ish. On the bush hog here, apparently there was another wheel bearing that was going out, and some welds that were breaking, and yeah, Rob had to do some fixing on it to get her to last through the year, I hope. I'd really like to get a different 20-foot brush hog, but used ones are kind of hard to find because everyone else tears them up too. I'm unloading corn here at the bins, and one of the cats has figured out that he can come over here and be petted. Unfortunately for him, I think that he needs to stay out of the way because this truck weighs a lot and he does not. Here, buddy, you just stay right there, okay? And 21, that's what I've been running at. We've shelled a lot of corn today. By Dad's estimation, I will know shortly, but we're going to be around 39,000 bushels and 200 acres of corn shelled today. Yesterday was a record day, and the working day before that was a record day too, and we've increased in acres, 20 acres each day, so it's a good feeling. Unfortunately, I was coming down the road and I heard a loud pop, and then I lost suspension, so one of my airbags is not wanting to party anymore. There's something different about some of the corn that we're in. It must be heavier, like test weight wise, because the leg It'll be running along just fine where it's supposed to be at about 22% draw. And then it'll start back feeding and jump up to like 44%. That's not good. And better get on your remote and get her shut down before you have a very big problem with corn. Supposedly it's gonna rain tonight, so we've been pushing pretty hard to get the last of the corn here in the bottom in front of my house done.
Yeah, just a little after 10 o'clock, Saturday night. There's the number for the day. Started at right around 9 o'clock. We've been done a half hour earlier. We had a truck that decided it needed to do a part regen, so we had to kind of wait. We had one truck for a little while. Somewhere in the area, 40,000 bushel. I'm gonna call that 200 acres. Not a bad day. Down here in the bottom. So pretty good running, but that was our last cornfield in the bottom, so they're calling for maybe 3-4 inches of rain over the next couple of days. So we're really gonna be glad that we've got this done, because this ground can get a little bit wet and stay that way. So hill ground it is.
That would be the airbag that we now definitely need to replace. Well, it is a little bit after 10. I am tired. I think I'm gonna go home and go to bed. It rained again last night, or early this morning, and my kitty cats are enjoying the nice warm weather. And there's another kitty cat that's kind of showed up and has stuck around a couple different times, and I don't know what to call her. What do you guys think? She's just a little scrawny little kitty cat. Come here. I know you let me pet you earlier today. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. She's still a little skittish sometimes, but I think she's gonna stick around. So drop some female kitty cat names down in the comments, and we'll see if we can find one that'll work. Since she's, I guess, not leaving. What do you think? Could this be the next Chase Goldinger play farming tractor? 2 days ago, I heard a loud bang, and I immediately knew after I lost my air pressure for the suspension that something was definitely wrong. And we got the trailer unhooked from the tractor, we got it in here, and it became very apparent very quickly what was wrong. You see, airbags are supposed to look like that, not like this. There's a little bit better view of the carnage. Everything has a life, and that has outlived its life. But we got some more airbags from River City, Kenworth over in Illinois. I think this is going to be the end of the video. It's been a little more strung out this time. I think I'm going to try and go back to the Tuesday upload. It seems like people like those more. Like I had more viewers when I uploaded at that time. So I'm going to try and get back to that. Try to breathe some life back into this YouTube deal. But anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see, you should subscribe, stick around, and see what I'm going to be up to next week. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.